Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Chris, and we're going to talk about Trek Travel today. Tim, can you tell us about Trek Travel?
So, Trek Travel is a bicycle tour company, a private company affiliated with the Trek Bicycle Company. So that's where their incredible equipment and hospitality comes from. But really, they're a travel company that provides incredible cycling experiences around the world.
Can you talk about some of the beautiful destinations that they run tours in?
There are trips that most of the trips focus on a region. So some of them will be just one hotel in one area. Some will travel, a few different hotels in a few different regions, say Tuscany, right? You kind of go from south to north in Tuscany. But, some of the most beautiful trips, Mallorca. There's a ride in Mallorca called Sa Calobra. And the Sa Calobra climb is a famous cycling climb. It starts at the summit of the Col de Ris, and then you ride down this kind of windy, switchbacky descent down to Port de Sa Calobra. And the ride it's beautiful. I mean, it's rocky and it's epic, and you watch these switchbacks as you go down. There's one point where you ride over a bridge and then back down under it and kind of corkscrew through. My wife Sarah and I have ridden on Mallorca, and that ride is certainly one that stands out. Puglia, southern Italy, the heel of the boot, the wine regions in Australia. A big focus in trip planning is finding beautiful rides.
What's the best part about taking a Trek Travel trip for somebody who's maybe doing it for the first time?
The thing that I think is one of the best things about the experience is that you get to focus on the riding. So you're not having to prep your own bikes for the most part. You're not having to think about where you're gonna ride. You're not gonna have to think about what you're gonna eat. You get on the bike, you follow the route, and you just ride. And there's not a lot of opportunities in most of our lives to do that. We've got a lot of other things on our minds. We've gotta get ready for a ride. And the ability just to focus and experience and challenge yourself, if that's what you're out for, is, I think, the biggest benefit to the experience they offer. The guides take care of everything else. You just need to ride.
Can you talk about what sort of different trip lengths they offer?
I mean, there are trips from 4-day ride camps or weekend, long weekend 4-day trips. 5, 6, and 7 is pretty typical depending on the region. There are some trips that are longer. There are 10-day trips depending on how far you might be traveling. And then there's trips like the cross-country trip that they offer across the United States, so Portland to Portland, which is a 45 or 46-day trip, so 7 weeks of your life. So a lot of options there. When I think about what I want to do, I tend to kind of have 3 criteria. I look at time of year, when can I travel? I look at destination, where I want to travel. And then I listen to friends who, we've done trips with or want to do trips with, and talk to them about where they want to go. And because of this, I have this list of trips that I still want to do, but haven't had the chance to. But I've also done trips that I wouldn't have chosen. A friend said, "Hey, let's do Portugal," and we went to Portugal and had a phenomenal experience. A great cultural experience, great riding, great destinations, and it wouldn't have been top of my list. So really, really lots of options.
Can you talk about pricing and what sort of value these trips offer?
They've got a huge range of trips, and it's easy to look at a number on a website and go, "Wow, that's a lot of money," or in some cases, "Wow, how can they do it for that?" But our experience is if you kind of run the numbers and you look at what it's going to cost to stay in the hotel and eat the food and get your bike there or rent a bike or whatever, the value's pretty high. And at the end of the day, that's, I think, the magic between ride camps, discovery, explore, and luxury trips, is you choose what level of support you want or experience you want, and they deliver. There's no trip that's a pizza and beer trip. I wouldn't necessarily say that the luxury trips are champagne and caviar, but the the food of the region and the restaurants that they choose and the experiences that they provide certainly are well worth the value. I think that's most of what we have to talk about.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've probably answered everyone's question about Trek travel. And so what I would encourage anyone to do is go to Trek Travel's website, trektravel.com, and do a little bit of exploring. If you have questions, come into a West Point Cycles location. Talk to our staff. Ask the questions, and if our team can't answer the questions, they'll get them for you. You can call Trek Travel. You can chat with them online. Trek Travel is an important part of what we do because every customer that we talk about Trek Travel with comes back to us, tells us what an amazing experience they had. They tend to ride more when they come back. They tend to be more engaged in cycling, and they tell us that Trek Travel does provide a trip of a lifetime.
That's everything we wanted to talk about in this video. If you have any questions, we'll answer them in the comments below. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.